Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. I'm delighted that many of you would have joined us for today. It's Christmas Eve morning, or at least that's when this video got posted, instead of our usual evening. That way many of you can keep up on your YouTube videos before you go head off to see loved ones. At any rate, we're taking a look at another gift to the channel. This one was a Christmas gift to me this year by my friend Rosie, a longtime supporter of the channel. And this is the Origins Bumblebee. Of course, this figure was just recently released. It's under the Buzzworthy Bumblebee label, but of course the instructions also list him as part of the War for Cybertron line. So I guess he's either a Kingdom toy or a Buzzworthy Bumblebee toy. Take your pick. At any rate, this is the version of Bumblebee as how he first appeared to us in the Generation 1 cartoon. So this will be his Cybertron version appearance. So this will be a nice treat for many of us. And of course, this figure stands at about the deluxe class price point, although I think he's a little smaller than the Cliff Jumper figure that came out in the Earthrise line. But at any rate, it's a good representation of Bumblebee, save for a lot of the extra kibble on his back. The only real problem I've got with him is the fact that the packaging shows the prototype, which of course they've got on here that his gun and his jetpack should both be in a silver gray color. But unfortunately, as you can see here, there's the gun in his hand and there's the jetpack on his back. They are molded instead in black. Truth be told, I'm not too picky about the colors, but I think I would have liked the gray color a little bit more, since Bumblebee's arms and legs are predominantly black. A little gray would have been a nice splash of color. But all in all, can't really complain about it. Let's take a look at his accessories now before we get too far in. And of course, we will start with his gun. It's done up as a nice little science fiction-y type laser pistol. And of course, it's a lot bigger than the one that came with the Bumblebee and Spike 2-pack that was done earlier this year. So that's a nice change. And then, of course, we've also got back here Bumblebee's jetpack, which was used for a single episode in the animated cartoon. But I guess if you want to give the impression that Bumblebee knows how to fly, it does make for a nice extra accessory. It's unfortunately hollow all on the inside. But to also go along with his cartoon origins, Bumblebee comes with 5 Energon Rods. Here's one of them. They all look the same. Got 5 trans-orange pieces. And again, it's a change from the prototype, since the box seems to indicate that they were more yellow in color originally. And in ways, I'm glad they changed that, because that would have been a little too much yellow. The instructions do show that when you bend Bumblebee's arms, he can be posed to where he is carrying them. They kind of show that it's best to have him with 4 in one arm and carrying the 5th in the other arm. And I guess if we straighten them out a little bit more, so they don't look like they're all tumbling out of his backside, and There we go. That doesn't look too horrendous. Unless we move them. I really should consider myself a turntable for this. But all in all, it is a nice, cute little accessory. And a nice homage to the original cartoon series. Although, since Wheeljack has been released in the deluxe class as well, he'd only be slightly bigger than Bumblebee. And it'd be a little hard to figure out how you're going to get all 5 of these into Wheeljack if they decide to do that. Bit strange, but oh well. With all the accessories out of the way, let's take a look at Bumblebee's articulation now. His head can turn from side to side with relative ease, and it is on a small ball joint, so it will look up and down. His arm can be raised out to the side, about so far, and you can rotate his arm at the shoulder all the way, but you will have to move the arm to the side a bit to clear his backpack kibble. His arms can be bent at the elbow, almost all the way up against his arm, so it's good range of motion. And he does have a swivel at the bicep, so he has G.I. Joe style battle grip. Bumblebee can be turned at his hips, like that. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. His legs can also be turned at the thigh. You can raise his leg up at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend him at the knee 90 degrees. So, this figure does have a lot of posability for such a small figure. Okay, now we got to transform Bumblebee. We'll start by turning him around to his backside. We got to fold down his backpack bit and then raise it outward to kind of stretch it like so. Then when that's done, you're going to fold out this portion and kind of snap it into place. Doesn't really snap that well, so don't force it. And then we fold the section again so that it's kind of like that on his backside. Then we come here to Bumblebee's front. I'm going to wiggle his chest piece free. And then we take it out and fold it up over his head like so. And you fold this portion downwards like that. Then we come down here to his hips and we're going to twist him around backwards. Then once he's been turned, we're going to fold his hands into his forearms. Then we come around here to the front and we're going to fold his arms at the shoulders inwards. And of course, remember, when he's brand new, these arms will be very, very stiff. And of course, his arms should connect together, just like that. Then we're going to come down here to his feet. You'll start by pulling the feet outwards a bit. And then we start to fold them so they point outward. Then we're going to start folding out these pieces at the side. And once they're out, you'll fold them upwards, so that way we can see things. Then you're going to bring them up to fold them on top, and then adjust the foot so that the post here on the end will line up and connect to the diagonally slotted hole on his foot. Just exactly like that. So it may make his legs appear kind of wonky like that, but that's how it's supposed to be. Then you come down here and you fold out this portion and kind of put it into place. Now I will warn you, these sections here, they do pop, they're on a ball joint, so they will pop off very easily if you're not careful. But since they're basically on a simple ball joint socket, they don't take much effort to put back into place. At any rate, once we've got them all in position, the next thing to do is to rotate Bumblebee's legs so that we've got these pieces on top, like so. Once they're all rotated, then we got to twist and fold to bring them around to the front. And this is when those pieces I mentioned will pop free often, is when you're moving them around. But you try to line up these here in the back and try to connect them there. Get them connected in there first. And then, once they are connected, try to connect their upper portion into Bumblebee's waist. This is where the real fight comes in. See, one just popped right off there. And there went the other one. But we can use that to demonstrate how easy it is to put them back in. But while we're at it, we'll get them secured into this portion here on his waist. If we can do it without repeating ourselves. There we go. That's one of them. Ready in with the other one. I did make sure to warn you, these pieces do pop very easily. So it is something for any of you that have got a young child. Keep an eye out for that, because that will happen very, very often. Alright then, once they are connected in, then they want you to bring down the body, connect it into place. Make sure the back end is also connected. There we go. And then to conclude it, tuck the hood in up here and connect it up at the front with the rest of the body. And there we go. Bumblebee in his Cybertronian mode. They seem to indicate that this should be a little bit smoother of a connection here, but I've never been able to get mine to connect smoothly like that, so do bear that in mind as you have your own. And of course, for some extra fun, you can always attach the jetpack onto the top of Bumblebee in this mode. That should give him a little extra speed. Almost kind of looks like he'd be able to participate in the old F-Zero video games in this mode. Might be kind of fun, especially with the jetpack on top there. Just zoom down those tracks at hyper speeds. And of course, you got a couple holes here on the sides. Well, you can insert the gun into either one of them. Takes a little effort. There we go. And then Bumblebee's got a gun on that side. Unfortunately, when he's in this mode, however, you've got no way to keep an eye on these Energon Rods. So, do bear that in mind. Now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of the Origin Bumblebee? This is a nice homage to the classic cartoon. And for many of us, this was how we would have been introduced to the world of the Transformers. So it's nice to see, after all these years, we finally get an official version of how Bumblebee was presented. All in all, it's not a bad toy. With the way some of the folds are on him, it will be a small challenge. And as I pointed out, the one section does tend to pop free very, very easily. But since it's on a ball joint, it goes back pretty easily. So it's not too much of a problem per se, but it is a piece that will get easily lost. So do make sure that you're not giving it to too young of a child. As for hopes that maybe we'll get a wheel jack, well, again, with how long these things are, it's not going to be a same size wheel jack that we've been getting with the recent Kingdom and Earthrise versions. It'd have to be one a bit bigger if you're going to have it carry all those rods. But until that happens, at least we've got a good Bumblebee to go with it. At any rate, that's my review of the Origin Bumblebee. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And remember, if you enjoy the content that's on this channel, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because we do enjoy all the feedback here on the channel. This is Sparkster1701, wanting to wish all of you out there a Merry Christmas. And I am very grateful you spent some time with me on this holiday. I hope that you'll be back next weekend, because next weekend is when I'm going to show you a special present that the channel has received. The only hint you're going to get about it is that it ties to the 2007 movie. So, please look forward to seeing it, because it is probably not something any of you are going to expect. So please look forward to it, and until then, I'll catch you all later.